You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
Meet Mimecast. They're in the business of taking companies at risk of cyber attack and putting them at ease. Picture this. It's Monday morning. You're cruising through hundreds of unread emails. Your impulse to promptly click, download, or respond could be a prompt to launch a cyber attack. An email address is a direct digital path to the mind, the machine, and the data of every person in your organization. It needs better security. I know what you're thinking. I'm all set. I have Microsoft 365 protection, Dave. It might not be enough. That's where Mimecast comes in. They've developed a system that fortifies your email security and reduces costs, risks, and complexities, enabling you and your business to work protected. So before you click your next email, visit Mimecast.com to start your free 30-day trial. A new Magento campaign is discovered. Gootloader malware-as-a-service afflicts law firms. Researchers find security flaws affecting crypto wallets. Panasonic warns of increasing attacks against IoT. A Belarusian cyberespionage campaign is outlined. The 5 phases of Russia's hybrid war and lessons in resilience from Ukraine's experience. In our Threat Vector segment, Kristopher Russo, senior threat researcher for Unit 42, joins David Moulton to discuss Muddled Libra. Kayla Williams from Devo describes their work benefiting the community at BlackHat. And a new DARPA challenge seeks to bring artificial intelligence to cybersecurity. I'm Dave Bittner with your CyberWire Intel briefing for Thursday, August 10th, 2023. Akamai is tracking a new card-skimming Magecart campaign that's been exploiting digital commerce websites since January 2023. In early 2022, according to Akamai, the vulnerability came to light, enabling attackers to exploit the Magento template engine and execute arbitrary PHP code on susceptible targets. The exploit operates through multiple steps, with common attack vectors involving the abuse of either the checkout process or the wish list functionality. Since its disclosure, this vulnerability has emerged as a primary entry point for numerous Magecart actors who are targeting vulnerable Magento 2 shops. TrustWave describes activity by the Gootloader malware delivery service, finding that just under 50% of cases involving Gootloader afflict law firms and their clients, or potential clients. Its campaign is designed to gull people searching legal topics. Gootloader is distributed via watering hole sites hosting phony legal documents, with SEO keywords such as agreements, contracts, and forms. TrustWave writes, Gootloader's SEO poisoning watering hole technique targeting legal-related search terms represents a significant threat to organizations or even individuals seeking legal information online. By manipulating search engine results and luring unsuspecting users to compromise websites, Gootloader takes advantage of users' trust in search results to deliver malicious payloads. Who's using Gootloader? It could be any number of people. It's a malware-as-a-service operation available for purchase by any number of shady customers in the C2C market. Researchers at Fireblocks have discovered a set of vulnerabilities called Bitforge that affect several cryptographic protocols used by cryptocurrency wallets. Fireblocks says, if left unremediated, the exposures would allow attackers and malicious insiders to drain funds from the wallets of millions of retail and institutional customers in seconds, with no knowledge to the user or vendor. The company has provided a status checker to list vendors that have implemented fixes for the flaws. The researchers note, Of the wallet providers Fireblox's research team worked with to patch the vulnerabilities, Coinbase and Zengo were best in class in managing and resolving the issues in a timely manner, ensuring that their users were well protected. Researchers from Panasonic, in a presentation at BlackHat, outlined an increase in malware attacks against IoT devices, Wired reports. Yuki Osawa, chief engineer at Panasonic, said, "Attack cycles are becoming faster, and now the malware is becoming all the more complicated and complex. Traditionally, IoT malware is rather simple. What we are afraid of most is that some kind of a cutting-edge, most advanced type of malware will also target IoT. So there is importance to protect against malware even after the product is shipped." ESET researchers today announced their discovery of a Belarusian cyberespionage group ESET has given the unlikely name of Mustached Bouncer. Active since 2014 at least, Mustached Bouncer targets foreign diplomatic missions to Minsk. The group uses lawful intercept tools to accomplish adversary-in-the-middle attacks, to redirect captive portal checks to a CNC server, and deliver malware plugins via SMB shares. ESET believes, with low confidence, that there's a good chance Mustached Bouncer is collaborating with the often overlooked and typically underachieving Winter Wyvern, a Russophone threat actor that acts in the interests of both Russia and Belarus. The spyware implants Mustached Bouncer deploys against its targets, nightclub and disco, are capable of audio recording, screenshot capture, and data theft. ESET warns that Mustached Bouncer is a skilled threat actor whose command and control is particularly sophisticated. The researchers recommend that organizations operating in countries where the internet can't be trusted, like Belarus, should use an end-to-end encrypted VPN tunnel to a trusted location for all their internet traffic in order to circumvent any network inspection devices. The Russian hacktivist auxiliaries of no-name 05716 have continued their customary short-lived nuisance-level DDoS attacks against European targets. The record reports that the group has hit a range of Dutch and French targets. Dutch authorities describe the effects as limited and symbolic. That's been typical of the hacktivist auxiliaries' results during the hybrid war so far, not a digital Pearl Harbor. Viktor Zora, Deputy Chairman and Chief Digital Transformation Officer at Ukraine's State Service of Special Communication and Information Protection, effectively Kyiv's cybersecurity lead, said at BlackHat that Russian cyber ops would continue long after the end of kinetic combat. The Register quoted him as saying, "Russia will continue to be dangerous in cyberspace for quite a long period, at least until a complete change of the political system and change of power in Russia, converting them from an aggressor to a country which should pay back for all they've done in Ukraine and also in other countries." Zora divides Russian cyber operations into 5 phases: preparation, disruption, targeted attacks against infrastructure, cyber attacks coordinated with kinetic strikes, and cyberespionage. All 5 phases have seen influence operations conducted in Russia's interest. Those have indeed been the enduring features of Russia's cyber war, which in most other respects has fallen short of the devastating effects that had widely been feared. U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director Jen Easterly yesterday discussed what the U.S. and others have learned from Ukraine's resistance to Russia's hybrid war. The CISA head summarized what the present war has taught the world about how to build cyber resilience, stating, "Doing the work up front to prepare for a disruption, anticipating that it will in fact happen, and exercising not just for response but with a deliberate focus on continuity and recovery, improving the ability to operate in a degraded state and significantly reducing downtime when an incident occurs." She explained that this will require conscious attention to, first, risk assessment, including the classic elements of vulnerability, likelihood, consequence, and threat, and second, resilience planning, which should include realistic testing, And finally, continuous improvement and adaptation, because the adversary learns and evolves, and the defender must do so as well. And finally, from the people who gave you the Internet itself, comes a challenge to develop innovative applications of artificial intelligence to cybersecurity. The AI Cyber Challenge, AICC for short, will be led by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA. The goal of the challenge is to leverage advances in AI to invent the next generation of cybersecurity defenses for today's digital society. It's a public-private partnership. DARPA will be working with Anthropic, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, the Linux Foundation, the Open Source Security Foundation, BlackHat USA, and DEF CON to run the challenge. The first round of applications is due next month as small business innovation research proposals. 7 will be selected for funding. Next August at DEF CON, the semifinals will select the top 5 teams, each of whom will receive $1 million. And at DEF CON in August 2025, the winners will be announced. The team that places third will get $1.5 million, the runner-up will receive $3 million, and the winner's purse will be a cool $4 million. For more, visit AICyberChallenge.com. You and your robot friends should line up and sign up now. Coming up after the break, in our Threat Vector segment, Kristopher Russo, Senior Threat Researcher for Unit 42, joins David Moulton to discuss Muddled Libra. Kayla Williams from Devo describes their work benefiting the community at BlackHat. Stay with us. Are you frustrated with cyber risk scores backed by mysterious data, zero context, and cloudy reasoning? Typical cyber ratings are ineffective, and the true risk story is begging to be told. It's time to cut the BS. BlackHat believes in seeing the full picture with more than a score, one where companies have complete clarity in their third-party cyber risk using reliable, quantitative data. Make better decisions. Reduce your uncertainty. Trust BlackHat. And now, a word from our sponsor, SpyCloud, the cybercrime analytics leader. SpyCloud disrupts cybercrime by telling you what criminals know about your business and your customers, so you can take action to prevent ransomware, session hijacking, account takeover, and online fraud. SpyCloud constantly recaptures and analyzes new data from the criminal underground, including credentials, session cookies, and PII siphoned from malware-infected devices. With knowledge of the specific exposed data criminals have in hand from InfoStealer malware on managed and unmanaged devices, security teams can respond with a more efficient and effective process called post-infection remediation that fits seamlessly into existing incident response frameworks. Get SpyCloud's post-infection remediation guide outlining the 7 steps for preventing a malware infection from becoming a full-blown ransomware incident. Visit spycloud.com/cyberwire. That's spycloud.com/cyberwire. And we thank SpyCloud for sponsoring our show. In our sponsored Threat Vector segment, Kristopher Russo, Senior Threat Researcher for Palo Alto Network's Unit 42, joins host David Moulton to discuss Muddled Libra. Here's their conversation.
Your biggest threat is probably not nation states or APTs or whatever the latest zero-day vulnerability is. Your biggest threat is likely a highly motivated and determined attacker, one that knows where you keep your organization's crown jewels.
Welcome to Threat Vector, a segment where Unit 42 shares unique threat intelligence insights, new threat actor TPTs, and real-world case studies. Unit 42 is a global team of threat intelligence experts, incident responders, and proactive security consultants dedicated to safeguarding our digital world. I'm your host, David Moulton, Director of Thought Leadership for Unit 42. Today's episode is part one of a story about Muddled Libra, a methodical group that poses a significant threat to industries like telecommunication, technology, and software automation. Today's guest is Kristopher Russo. Chris is a senior threat researcher with Unit 42. Talk to our guests a little bit about how you got into cybersecurity.
Sure. So I've been doing cybersecurity for many years now. And really what drew me to it was this insatiable appetite for just ruining bad guys' days. I love technology, and I love the way it can be used to improve people's lives. And at the same time, we've seen people take those same technologies and use them to hurt people and destroy those lives. And so really what I am here for is to help put a stop to that.
Chris, in mid-June, you were the lead author on a threat group assessment for Unit 42 on the threat actor group Muddled Libra. For listeners not familiar with Muddled Libra, can you give us a snapshot of the group and maybe actually how it's different than Scattered Spider?
Yeah, and most of our listeners have probably heard about Scattered Spider or Scatter Swine or Octopus as they've been known. The commonality which binds all of these threat groups together is the use of the Octopus Phishing Kit. The Octopus Phishing Kit is it's a one-stop shop for quickly and easily constructing smishing pages used to steal OTP codes from victims. What we found is that there are a number of actors using that phishing kit, and they've all been grouped together. And I think it's important to carve out what's arguably the most dangerous of those groups. We define Muddled Libra as having several hallmarks unique to them. And these include the focus on outsourcing firms for attack, particularly with firms that have access to downstream high-value cryptocurrency holders. We see them use legitimate persistence tools by trusted vendors to kind of fly under the radar in the environment. And, probably most importantly, the type of data that they're after is very specific, and they're very thorough in finding it.
Can you share what defenders should be on the lookout for with Muddled Libra?
First and foremost, the hallmark of this threat actor is the use of the Octopus Phishing Kit. And they use that to create lookalike authentication pages, and then contact victims to social engineer them into going to these pages and divulging their credentials. So we see the favorite lures of this group, impersonating the organization's help desk or warning the victim of work schedule changes. Anything kind of high priority to get the victim to click through and go to this phishing page. Once authenticated, this attacker will look to establish persistence in the environment by using commercial remote management tools. Now, what's unique with this threat actor is they'll often use many of these tools in one environment to make sure that if one is identified, they can still maintain that persistence. After establishing a beachhead, this attacker will use standard penetration testing techniques and tools to elevate their access, explore the network, move laterally, and identify the information that they're after. This is likely where defenders will notice the activity. There's also an opportunity to find this activity when seeing large transfers via SSH out of the environment or unusual transfers to commercial data sharing websites.
In your article, you and your co-authors detailed an extensive number of conclusions and mitigations. What I want to hear from you about is the most urgent recommendations you would share.
First of all, know your environment and know your users so that you can see when anomalies happen in your environment. There are lots of good ways and good tools to do this, but what's important is that you can identify things that are abnormal. Train your users and your help desk to be on the lookout for unusual requests for authentication, for modification of MFA safeguards. That could be adding a new mobile phone or unenrolling an application. Use intelligent security automation that monitors and remediates anomalies on the fly in the environment to detect attacks early and stop them before damage can be done. And finally, practice good security hygiene by identifying where your important data is in your environment and protecting that sensitive data with additional controls and making sure that only the folks that need access to it can access it.
Chris, thanks for joining me today on Threat Vector and for talking about the threat group assessment research that you've done on Muddled Libra. We'll be back on the CyberWire Daily in 2 weeks with the second part of our look at Muddled Libra with Stephanie Reagan. Stephanie will share her insights and advice for fellow incident responders working to defend against Muddled Libra and attackers like them. Until then, stay secure, stay vigilant. Goodbye for now.
And it is my pleasure to welcome back to the show Kayla Williams. She is the CISO at Devo. Kayla, I know you and your colleagues from Devo are no doubt having a good time there at BlackHat and doing all of the business-related things that you are there to do. But there's a lot more to that show for you and your colleagues there. You all have a lot going on this year.
Yeah, we certainly do. It is absolutely electric here down on the show floor here at BlackHat. We've had a lot of interaction with customers and prospects and even just people who are just walking by, come and see our booth. We have a lot going on. It is so much fun.
Well, tell me about some of the initiatives that you all are sharing there at the show. I mean, these are things that extend beyond the business mission of Devo.
Yeah, so we actually have at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, we have Dr. Chaz Lever, who's our Director of Security Research, and Josh Copeland, who's a Cybersecurity Director at AT&T, and also he's actually a professor at Tulane University as well. They're going to discuss the risks and rewards of artificial intelligence, which we've had so much buzz around this topic since Devo uses AI within our platform. And we're really starting to see an uptick in the interest, as is the rest of, the industry and the attention on AI. We also have the launch of our Rock the Sock, a career guide for your first analyst role and beyond, which was so much fun to create. It's a comprehensive book of career resources, guidance, and real-world insight from our contributors. So, I don't want to brag or anything, but I contributed a section to the book, which I thought was really exciting.
Yeah.
But we also got to talk to YouTube content creator John Hammond, CyberSN founder and CEO Deidre Diamond. She is hysterical. If you've never met her, I strongly recommend finding her. She is so much fun.
There's also an initiative. I understand that you've got some resources to help combat burnout.
Talk about one of the industries that is hit with burnout so much is certainly the cybersecurity industry. But I find through the research that Devo has done, but also just from lurking around on social media, that our SOC analysts out there are hit the hardest. So what Devo has done for the third year in a row, we're having our SOC Analyst Appreciation Day, which is founded to celebrate our SOC analysts and encourage organizations to prioritize their mental well-being. That's in October. I believe it's the full day is October 18th that we're going to be having that SOC Analyst Appreciation Day.
Nice. So, speaking about BlackHat in general, for folks who perhaps this is their first time there, do you have any words of wisdom as someone with a little more experience under your belt?
I would say make sure that you're wearing comfortable shoes. I think that's the most important piece. If you haven't been to RSA, it's the same thing. Make sure you're comfortable because you do so much walking. But I would say also that you should capitalize on the networking opportunities. And that's not just speaking about on the floor, but going out and attending the events that are being sponsored by all the different organizations. Devo has a few sponsored events as well, of course. I'd love to see everybody there. And, if you find something that, is up your alley, go for it. Don't be shy. This is our time to come together as a community and get to know one another.
Before I let you go, can we talk real quick about CyberMinds? It's an organization that I've spoken to before, but you all are contributing to that organization at the show.
Yes, we are. So CyberMinds is a not-for-profit organization focused on solving stress, burnout, and anxiety within the entire cybersecurity community. And what Devo is doing is we are giving them a lump sum donation and then an additional $10 for every badge that we scan at our booth. So I highly encourage folks, please come stop by our booth. If not for, me and my amazing colleagues in our absolutely phenomenal platform, but to come and stop by so that we can scan your badge and donate to a good cause.
All right, fair enough. Well, Kayla Williams is CISO at Devo. Kayla, have fun there in Vegas. Please hydrate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Take care.
You too. Good luck. Tired of cybersecurity mega conferences? MWise is different. With a focused agenda and targeted problem solving, MWise is where security's best go to get better. From September 18th through the 20th in Washington, D.C., you'll join a special community of security's sharpest minds, hear perspectives you might not get anywhere else, and reach a new level of mastery that'll prepare you for what's next. Register early and save at mwise.mandiant.com/conf23. That's mwise.mandiant.com/CONF23. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. You can email us at cyberwire@n2k.com. Your feedback helps us ensure we're delivering the information and insights that help keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. We're privileged that N2K and podcasts like the CyberWire are part of the daily intelligence routine of many of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, as well as the critical security teams supporting the Fortune 500 and many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K Strategic Workforce Intelligence optimizes the value of your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your team while making your team smarter. Learn more at n2k.com. This episode was produced by Liz Irvin and senior producer Jennifer Iben. Our mixer is Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. The show was written by our editorial staff. Our executive editor is Peter Kilpie, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. MISSY is a nonprofit organization formed exclusively to further and promote charitable, educational, and scientific purposes, including furthering innovation in cybersecurity through education, global technology partnerships, investment, and community engagement to create a collaborative network of subject matter experts and cyber professionals. Their mission accelerator facilities and programs thrive on finding fresh ideas, technologies, and the people with the passion needed to repurpose current and emerging cyber technologies into capabilities at maximum speed. For information on how you can get involved, please visit missy.tech. And we thank MISSY, the Maryland Innovation and Security Institute, for sponsoring our show. One final note, if you missed our recent panel discussion with my friends at AWS, Splunk, and Dragos on securing digital transition, you can catch the conversation on demand by visiting thecyberwire.com/Dragos.